Hi, my name is Astrid. So today I want to talk about the status quo. The status quo is mostly used to talk about the current world affairs. So you've probably heard it on TV, while watching the news, newspapers, or watching a panel, right? And the way they show you this idea of status quo has a very top-bottom view of it. But today I'll be giving you the bottom-top view with the basic meaning of status quo. The basic meaning of status quo is the way things are. Has a very neutral tone behind it, or in other words, constant and no change. I don't like changes. I really don't. And it's not just me, it's all of us here, and it has been proven psychologically. For examples, in college, right, when you go to your classes, you do realize you don't have any assigned seats. But for some reason, you always choose to sit on the same place or at least the same areas. And if somebody else has seated there, you get a little bit triggered, but eventually you adapt to the new seat. The same thing goes for me. The first time I moved here, I was afraid of the changes that was happening around me. Because I know that changes forces me to step out of my comfort zone. Think about it. It's like that term, bad habits die hard. It's so hard for me to stop myself from doing things that I normally do because it's so comfortable to do it. I love it. It suits me because it makes me feel safe. Because no changes means routine. Routine means you know what comes after, you know what follows after. It's like you know what's after A is B, C, D, and so on and so forth. And that's why you don't have fear, because your brain does not know what comes after. That's why you're constantly fearing things. So I stayed there longer and longer and longer and longer, and I just enjoy the status quo. So in my perspective, the status quo is basically telling you you don't have to do anything about everything. Just sit back, relax, and let fate like it's yours. You know? But one day, and this is how my life has been. I've lived in the status quo for quite too long now. And then one time, just last year, something in me just snapped. That I've realized that the life that I'm living in has not given me a certain kind of purpose. So mundane, so predictable, so simple. It's like, remember when you're watching a new movie, you try so hard not to be exposed to spoilers, because that's kind of the whole idea of watching a new movie. So you've lost all of the tension, the suspense, the excitement, and that's how life is in status quo, at least in my opinion. You can debate me on this later on, but that's how I feel my life starting to be. And I realize that no, I don't want to stay like this for too long. Because the idea of status quo is that it makes you feel that everything is all right. And the all right here doesn't necessarily mean positive or negative. It's just, it's enough. As long as it meets your minimum standard, you are good to go. Then, I am here today not trying to start anything, but I'm here to encourage all of us to step out of our status quo. Because to encourage us to step out of status quo and break it eventually. To stand and walk, not just stand. So this is the idea of status quo, the thing that I really like about status quo. It allows you to stand. What do I mean by stand? When you sit, you can't see it. You can't see what's the problem in your life. But when you actually stand at the higher ground, you'd be finally able to see what is going on in your life. You know what's the problem, you know what to fix, you know what to maintain, you know what to do, and so on and so forth. And many have stood, but some fail to walk upon seeing what is ahead of them because they're afraid of changes. So don't be afraid of changes, because life is full of changes and you don't want to miss out on life. So instead of saying, you know what, this is not my problem, I'll let her do it. I need her to fix it for me, or I'll just let the time heal the wound because I really can't deal with this right now. Or I'm not gonna try because I'm scared if I fail. But instead of those things, start saying, if it's not me, then who? If it's not them, then who? If it's not now, then when? If I don't start exploring myself, when will I be and how will I know who I'll be? So, last year I took up my very first speech competition. And I've realized, and that competitions that I willingly want to participate in without any voices telling me what to do. I've discovered something that I can do. And I've left my status quo. So today, I'm here leaving my status quo because I'm finally able to say what I've wanted to say, to do what I've always wanted to do, and to help in any ways that I can because I know my abilities doesn't stop here. And all of you and all of us here can do so much more than you can think of if you take that risk. Because the only risk there is when you don't take a risk. Really worthy. Anyway, so my point here today is to not to try to start a revolution, because that's what breaking status quo is all about, but you can if you want to, because the problem is right there. The bridge is right across it, and you can see it when you stand. But my next question is, will you actually be willing to walk and sing to it? Thank you. Thank you.